अस्सलाम वालेकुम डियर। आज की इस वीडियो में हम 11th बायोलॉजी चैप्टर 1 बायोडाइवर्सिटी एंड क्लासिफिकेशन की एक्सरसाइज के शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करेंगे। लास्ट वीडियो में हमने इसके एमसीक्यू सॉल्व किए थे, तो चलते हैं आज के टॉपिक की तरफ। फर्स्ट शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन इज व्हाट आर 3 डोमेन्स ऑफ लाइफ एंड हाउ डू दे डिफर्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ सेलुलर स्ट्रक्चर। देयर 3 डोमेन्स ऑफ लाइफ आर बैक्टीरिया. These are prokaryotic organisms. Their cell lack a true nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. They have a cell wall containing peptidoglycan. And second is Archaea. These are also prokaryotic organisms. Their cell lack a true nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. However, their cell wall do not contain peptidoglycan, and their cell membrane have unique ether-linked lipids. They often inhabit extreme environment. And third is Eukarya. These are eukaryotic organisms. Their cell possess a true nucleus enclosed by a nuclear membrane and contain various membrane-bound organelles like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, chloroplast in plants and algae. They can be unicellular or multicellular. In summary of difference in cellular structure, nucleus and organelles absent in bacteria and Archaea, present in Eukarya. Cell wall composition, पेप्टाइडोग्लाइकेन इन बैक्टीरिया, यानी कि बैक्टीरिया की सेल वाल पेप्टाइडोग्लाइकेन की बनी होती है, और इसी तरह आर्किया की जो सेल वाल है उसमें पेप्टाइडोग्लाइकेन नहीं होता। और प्लांट की सेल वाल सेलुलोज की बनी होती है, और फंजाई की काइटिन से बनी होती है, और एनिमल्स के अंदर सेल वाल नहीं होती। मेम्ब्रेन लाइपिड्स ईस्टर लिंक्ड इन बैक्टीरिया एंड यूकेरिया, ईथर लिंक्ड इन आर्किया। नेक्स्ट इज describe one key features that differentiates Archaea from bacteria. One key features that differentiate Archaea from bacteria is composition of their cell wall. Bacteria have cell walls that contain peptidoglycan. Archaea do not have peptidoglycan in their cell walls. Instead, they have cell walls made of other materials like pseudopeptidoglycan or glycoproteins. Another key difference is the lipid composition of their cell membrane. Bacteria have ester-linked lipids while Archaea have unique ether-linked lipids. Next is how do sponges reproduce asexually? Their sponges reproduce asexually primarily through 2 methods, budding and fragmentation. Budding means a small outgrowth, means bud forms on the parent sponge and eventually detach to grow into a new independent sponge. Fragmentation means a piece of the parent sponge break off and, if conditions are suitable, can develop into a complete new sponge. एक और तरीके से भी ये रिप्रोड्यूस करते हैं, चैम्यूल्स फॉर्मेशन, इंटरनल बड्स इन फ्रेश वाटर स्पॉन्जेस एंड सम मैरीन स्पीशीज. डोरमेंट tough coated reproductive structures called chemmules are formed. These can survive harsh conditions and later develop into new sponges when favorable conditions return. Next is differentiate the following: sac-like and tube-like digestive system. Their sac-like digestive system, this system has only one opening, mouth or anus, that serve both for ingestion of food and elimination of undigested waste. Food enters, digestions occur in central canal and waste exists through the same opening. इनकी एग्जाम्पल नाइडेरिया है एंड फ्लैटवर्म्स. Next is tube-like digestive system, complete digestive system. This system has 2 separate openings, a mouth for ingestions and an anus for elimination of undigested waste. Food moves in one direction through a specialized tube, allowing for sequential digestions and absorption. इनकी एग्जाम्पल मोस्ट कम्प्लेक्स एनिमल्स हैं लाइक ह्यूमन्स, अर्थवर्म्स एंड इंसेक्ट वगैरह. Next is Polyps and Medusa. These are 2 distinct body forms in cnidarians. Polyps are generally sessile होते हैं, cylindrical in shape with the mouth and tentacles facing upward. They often reproduce asexually, means through budding. Example इनकी Hydra, sea anemone और coral हैं. Medusae are free swimming, bell shaped or umbrella shaped with the mouth and tentacles usually hanging downward. They typically reproduce sexually. Example इनकी jellyfish है. नेक्स्ट हमारे पास है डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन यूरोकॉर्डेट एंड सिफेलोकॉर्डेट. These are 2 subphyla within Chordata considered invertebrate chordates. In Urochordates, notochord, dorso-hollow nerve cord and pharyngeal slits are present primarily in the larval stage. Adults are typically sessile होते हैं, filter feeders होते हैं and lose most of their chordate characteristics, developing a tough outer covering called a tunic. In cephalochordate, notochord, dorso-hollow nerve cord and pharyngeal slits persist throughout their entire life cycles. Adults are small होते हैं, fish like, free swimming होते हैं और burrowing and retain their chordate features in a more prominent way than urochordate. Next is differentiation between ectotherms and endotherms. These terms describe how animals regulate their body temperature. Ectotherm, these animals primarily rely on external environmental sources like sunlight, warm rocks to regulate their body temperature. Their metabolic heat production is low. Examples: reptiles, lizards, snakes, amphibians, fish, invertebrates. Ectotherm warm-blooded animals होते हैं. These animals generate most of their body heat internally through metabolic process. They maintain a relatively constant internal body temperature regardless of external temperature fluctuations. इनकी examples mammals and birds. Next is Marsupial and Placental mammals. These are two main groups of mammals differentiated by their reproductive strategies. Marsupial mammals have a pouch on the abdomen of female. These mammals give birth to immature young ones which complete their development in mother's pouch. For example, kangaroos and opossum. Placental mammals are the most advanced mammal. During development, a structure called placenta is formed between mother's uterus wall and fetus body. Fetus is nourished and waste from fetus are removed through this placenta. They give birth to young ones, means they are viviparous. इनकी एग्जाम्पल ह्यूमन, डॉल्फिन, एलिफेंट, डॉग्स, कैट्स, वॉल्स वगैरह इसमें शामिल हैं. नेक्स्ट इज जिम्नोस्पर्म एंड एंजियोस्पर्म. Their gymnosperm means necked seed. Their seeds are not enclosed within a ovary or fruit. They are typically borne on the surface of cones or specialized leaves. They generally lack flowers and fruits. For example, conifers and ginkgo. Next is angiosperm, means enclosed seed. Their seeds are enclosed within a fruit which develop from the ovary of a flower. They produce true flowers for reproduction and fruit for seed dispersal. They are the most diverse and dominant plant group today. For example, roses, apple trees and grasses वगैरह. Next is which kingdom is characterized by organisms with chitin in their cell wall and that are mostly decomposers. There the kingdom characterized by organisms with chitin in their cell walls and that are mostly decomposer is fungi. They are mostly heterotrophic decomposers and they break down dead organic matter. Example, mushrooms, molds and yeast. Next is what type of speciation occurs when populations are geographically separated. There the type of speciation that occurs when populations are geographically separated is allopatric speciation. Allopatric speciation occurs when a population is geographically separated by physical barriers like mountain, rivers or desert. The two groups cannot interbreed. Over time, genetic differences accumulate, leading to the formation of a new species. Next is what is the role of genetic drift in the process of speciation. Their genetic drift causes random changes in allele frequency, especially in small population, which can lead to speciations over time. Genetic drift is a random process, not based on natural selection. It can cause certain genes to become more or less common by chance. In isolated populations, these random changes can accumulate. Over time, the population may become genetically different enough to form a new species. Next is what is the primary method used to assess species distribution along an environmental gradient. There, transect sampling is the primary method used to assess how species are distributed along an environmental gradient, like changes in light, moisture, altitude or pH. A line, means transect, is laid across the area. Researchers record the type and abundance of species at set intervals along the line. This helps reveal pattern of distribution in relation to changing environmental condition. Next is which level of biodiversity assessment involves evaluating the variety of ecosystem in a region. There, ecosystem diversity is the level of biodiversity that focuses on the variety of ecosystems like forests, deserts, wetlands, grasslands within a particular regions or biosphere. It includes different types of habitats, their interactions with living and non-living components, the ecological process within them. डेयर ये थे 11th बायोलॉजी चैप्टर 1 बायोडाइवर्सिटी एंड क्लासिफिकेशन की एक्सरसाइज के शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन. अगर किसी किस्म की कोई कन्फ्यूजन है तो आप कमेंट करके पूछ सकते हैं, मैं रिप्लाई करने की पूरी कोशिश करूंगा. और इस तरह की मज़ीद इंफॉर्मेटिव वीडियोस हासिल करने के लिए चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए, बेल आइकन को क्लिक कर दीजिए ताकि हमारी हर नई आने वाली वीडियो का नोटिफिकेशन आप तक बर वक्त पहुँच सके। वीडियो देखने का शुक्रिया। अल्लाह हाफिज़।